It's no secret anymore. We are currently in the middle of the biggest, most volatile property boom ever. I don't want to be another agent sensationalizing the current price explosion, so don't shoot the messenger, but the writing is on the wall. If you thought prices were going to crash in 2021 because of the China virus, you were so wrong.
Chinese virus.
Market conditions have arguably never been better. What we are seeing right now out there in the trenches is a level of euphoric positive sentiment that compares only to the boom of 2015-2016. The old agents are saying this is the best market they've seen in 20 years. Others are saying this is the best market ever. I'll be honest, I've never really experienced anything like this before professionally. Back then, during the last boom, I was still marketing nightclubs and small businesses, not people's homes. I got a little taste of that high time at the start of my career when I was a sales associate, but I wasn't selling myself, and it quickly crashed momentously after that. My career so far has been almost all in a down market, all pre-crash, post-crash, crash impending, and I'm cool with that. I've learned to turn bricks into dollars for people working uphill with the rain in my face as opposed to downhill with the wind in my sails. My old sales manager used to say, "Learn how to sell now in this market, guys, and one day when it booms again, you will be unstoppable."
No one gives it to you. You have to take it.
And he was right. My February for 2021 has been epic. I've almost sold out of stock. The best part is everyone so far has been a winner. Sellers are getting the prices they want or more, and buyers are making stacks of money instantly after depositing. I've actually got clients who deposited on builds with me back in early February who haven't even exchanged unconditionally yet, and the property which they are about to purchase is already worth $50,000 to $100,000 more than the price we agreed on. So why is all this happening? What is there to explain the market booming 10 to 15% in northwest Sydney seemingly overnight? I say it started with the following 4 government schemes and incentives which were put into place in the wake of the pandemic to fire up the economy. 1. The First Homeowners Grant. This is the initial and most basic incentive that has been offered for years, although it's changed in amount from time to time. Currently, the grant offers $10,000 for people who are buying their first home as long as their purchase meets a certain criteria. Visit the Revenue New South Wales website where you can check your eligibility. 2. The First Home Buyer Assistance Scheme. This is the newly created incentive that the government offers so that you can avoid paying stamp duty as a first home buyer or receive a hefty concession on the typical stamp duty amount. Again, visit the Revenue New South Wales website where current terms and conditions are provided. 3. The Home Builder Grant. This is the latest incentive offered by the New South Wales government in the wake of the pandemic, initially proposed to help boost the economy and encourage people to build new homes in New South Wales. The grant, as per the Revenue New South Wales website, is offered for those who enter into a contract between X and Y dates to build a new home, substantially renovate an existing home, or buy an off-the-plan home. People who meet this criteria could be eligible for $15,000 to $25,000. 4. The First Home Loan Deposit Scheme. Much like the Home Builder Grant, the First Home Loan Deposit Scheme is a new incentive being offered by the New South Wales Government to help boost the economy through the pandemic. Usually, purchasers purchasing property with a deposit of less than 20% would need to pay lender's mortgage insurance, or LMI, on top of the property price and stamp duty. That LMI figure could be extremely costly to the buyer, typically averaging around $20,000. Via the First Home Loan Deposit Scheme, banks can offer a limited number of buyers the opportunity to take out a loan with them of 80% or more without having to pay LMI. This can save first home buyers tens of thousands of dollars, and also it significantly lowers the barrier of entry for those who have limited finances and want to buy their first home. Visit the National Housing, Finance and Investment Corporation website to check your eligibility. The government wanted to quickly and effectively fire up the market with the previously mentioned incentives, and they've well and truly done that. By offering these grants and incentives, they've basically started a small fire at the entry-level sector of the market, which is now spread into an absolute blaze, engulfing the entire market and sending prices skyrocketing. Then there's the issue of pent-up demand. Nearly 1 million buyers held back from purchasing during 2020 due to the pandemic. If you remember back in early 2020, pre-COVID, We were actually in the early stages of a boom, and first home buyers were already pouring into the market in droves as the terror of the 2017 Royal Commission crash faded away and confidence quickly returned. Then suddenly COVID-19 appeared and everyone anxiously recoiled. Everybody was saying, I just want to see what happens. Most buyers took the short odds that any lockdown would decimate jobs and the economy with property prices to follow suit. What we witnessed was that prices barely budged. Even through a lockdown pandemic and a global crisis on a scale we've never seen before, Sydney property prices held strong and pretty much just flatlined for the best part of 2020. Here's the thing, all those buyers who put their plans on the shelf and were holding back still needed or wanted to buy a house. Truth be told, they probably saved a stack of cash during their hibernation waiting for the green lights of the media to say get out and buy. It's these people, this stampede of cautious bag holders from 2020 who are now making their presence felt at the auction houses and kitchen counters around Sydney, cashed up and hungrier than ever for property. We also have the lowest interest rates of all time. Cash is cheaper than ever right now. I'd say this one doesn't need much explaining. Interest rates are lower than ever before. The RBA cash rate is 0.1%, basically zero negative. They have done this because they know that lowering the interest rates will stimulate borrowing, which will in turn stimulate spending, and so on and so forth. Anyone with cash parked in their account is basically earning nothing on it. So instead they will take it out of the account and put it back into the economy, right? Simples. There is critical stock depletion across Sydney, especially in the entry level or first home buyer sector. Stock levels were already low in 2020 to begin with buyers lined up around the dance floor like wallflowers while the market was pretty much flat and desolate. No reason for sellers to be enticed to pack up and move then. I think most people were too preoccupied with life during a pandemic anyway, just getting used to working from home to consider selling and moving anywhere. This means less supply in the market, and when there is less of anything around, it typically increases in value. What we have seen in the last month or two is that balance start to slide rapidly. The equilibrium was lost. Now demand is far outweighing supply, and so the value of the asset, in this case houses, has quickly risen to the occasion. So, is it a good time to buy a house now then? Honestly, I don't know the answer to this. It's dependent on so many factors like what your immediate and long-term goals are, where you live currently and where you want to be. Your financial status and your job, all this stuff should play a role in your decision. Nobody can answer this question for you. People ask me every single day, is it a good time to buy? But what they are really asking is the market going to come back down or is it going to keep going up? The short answer is we have zero clue. Nobody, not even the real estate agents with boots on the ground, can seem to pick it. Everyone gets it wrong every time. I, like the other agents, don't have a crystal ball. I'm no fortune teller. Think of your agent more as a canary in the coal mine rather than a prophet. Listen closely to the canary's message, act accordingly, you may indeed enjoy significant profit. The song I'm singing right now is Supply Will Come Back Eventually, and when it does, expect things to slow down before they go down. The boom is literally happening right now. There is a wave forming and we all have more than enough time to ride it out to our next destination. So consider grabbing a board and hang on tight. 2021 is going to be big.